I got a comment from one of my videos, and I think it most likely is a black woman, and she was implying that she was saying that black nerds left, um, left black women for white women. Therefore, the thugs or the real men holding it down in the community. Let me get the that right, because I hate trying to remember shit off my head. But I'm about to break this fallacy down. Okay. What video was it on? It was under my video. Don't waste your breath holding black women accountable. And here I go. And she says, there they are with us in the hood, and most likely she's referring to black women with thugs. And granted, not all, but I'm just saying. They are with us in the hood. Us is in in the hood. All the other black men have left for the white woman. You call them thugs. We don't. We also white people call you thugs. Ask a cop. Are you a preppy, dressy, skinny, nerdy that makes you better? And this is the funny thing about it all. Okay, all the other black men left for white women. So most likely she's talking about maybe athletes or just nerdy dudes, black nerds or whatever. And I'm just kind of wondering, like, who are these men that left? You know, you know, because I feel like it ends up being this ridiculous fallacy that, oh well, like okay, let me just be sure. Like, how many black women were in a relationship and their dude was cheating on her with with a white woman, and like Becky was the side piece turned main chick, and I'm trying to figure out, like, how often does this happen? Versus a brother met a white girl. He's like, okay, she cool. We got things in common, and we kick it and we hit it off. It's a really ridiculous thing to say that, like, we left black women, like, and maybe she's not implying it like the way I'm implying it, but let me just assume, for video's sake. Okay, let's just say, hey, we have cornball Steve Urkel. Um, Laura, ain't trying to fuck with him. And let's just say, Becky comes along. She finds, him attractive. He values his intellect. You can't say that Steve Urkel left not Laura, left, um, yeah, Laura. Is it Laura? Yeah, Laura for Becky. For one, she wasn't with him at all. She rejected him multiple times, and he's been eyeing you for years or months or whatever, and like all of a sudden now you see value in him because you know white women scooped him up. Give me scenarios in the comment section to where either you knew somebody personally who, like, legitimately got cheated on by Becky, and it was main side chick turned main chick. You're not going to see that happen. That it's like saying Tiger Woods left black women for white women. It's like I replied to whoever commented on that video. I replied saying that you can't say black men are leaving black women for white women when granted there's black women are not naturally attractive. Not saying that they're not at all. I'm just saying naturally, as in they don't um they're not checking for you. They're not coming to your scholasticathon or your senior project that you took all semester. You couldn't go to any of the basketball games or have a social life because you had to do X, Y, and Z in such a short notice. And then you finally presented, and she's not gonna be there. You know, I'm just saying there'll be it's for them it's, scholasticathon or the basketball game. And 9 times out of 10, or 10 out of 10, she's going to the basketball game. You know, we do, and as a black nerd, we don't get a lot of support, from the sisters. And and a lot of black nerds, I feel like they're afraid to say this, especially those who are content creators or in the like I know Blevity has a black nerd section, but I really wish I can talk to that brother who's on that channel and just ask him like, hey, prior to you being a internet sensation or content creator, how many black women do were literally checking for you? And not many, not much. And okay. Nah, I kind of gone off on a tangent. I meant to finish my Tiger Woods analysis, but anyways, like I was saying with top of my Tiger Woods analysis is that there were no black women going to the PGA Tour or the Masters tournament. There's no such thing as a PGA Tour. I mean PGA Tour thought, Masters tournament thought. There's no such thing. Granted, yes, there are. You'd be actually surprised at the sex trafficking at the Masters tournament. But mostly that's just white and Asian women. Um, you know, because it's mostly catering to white conservatives. So they might not have a thing for black women. So there's not a open market for your Instagram thoughts to get in with what is it? What's his name? Jack Nicholson or whatever. So you can't really say that. You can't say, oh well, he's you know because how many black women like literally like have posters and scribble Tiger Woods' name on shit, on their notebook or whatever. You have to understand. Black women have to understand that there's certain things that you don't have a natural attraction to. Doesn't make you a bad person, but we're just saying you don't have it. And so when you see brothers hopping the fence, don't get angry because it's not like he was checking for him in the first place. You know, you know, it's not like y'all were checking for him. You know, um, some brothers, they do have like legitimate grievances or problems, and I don't do the immature route like being like Tommy or MGTOW or Obsidian. I egg those brothers on just so they can talk some shit and whatever, but I don't stoop to their level. I'm not you know doing podcast about why black men should go to MGTOW and you know not be married and just kind of limit their life. That's kind of like the problem with MGTOW. A lot of these, black men going their own way or whatever, black MGTOW, whatever, is that it doesn't really solve the problem, and it's just like the position doesn't make sense. Like, okay, do you want to be married? Do you want to fall? Like, if you had the opportunity to fall in love and you get the girl of your dreams, would you be like every other guy in any other relationship? You know, and it sounds stupid. Like, damn, like why are these guys so uptight about love, relationships, or sex or whatever? The thing is that when you understand when you understand the life of a nerd or a black nerd at that, there isn't um, there isn't a privilege. There isn't this kind of automatic respect or what is that? Never mind. Anyway, like there isn't an automatic respect or privilege. With like when with these feminists, they love talking about guys can be players, they can have sex with all these women, and they don't get shamed for it. And the thing is not is that a lot of guys, or a good bit of guys aren't like that. There's a good bit of guys who have to, suffer rejection. It's not like women don't suffer either, but I'm just saying that you wouldn't understand the frustration to where it's like, hey, you're not like one of the guys. You wouldn't understand the frustration of like not being one of the black guys. You know, because black boys are supposed to be sexual by the time they're born. They have to learn how to do all the sex moves and positions. They have to know all that at a young age. Because they're expected to do it, and they already assume that the girls in the class are already sexually active or whatever, and so they're not. They don't want to be the lame guy who's like still a virgin, and he's only what, like 14, and he's like, that's a little late for me. I should have, this is my time to get it in now. Versus waiting until 16, 18, or marriage. He doesn't want to take that route because he doesn't, because he knows how sexually active black women are. Or how they want to be pleased sexually. It's an important thing to them. And so you don't want to be that guy that's the lame guy who's out, and nobody's really fucking with him, and it's an embarrassing feeling. Shit. But there isn't a privilege. There isn't dating privileges. Shit like black nerds get. And, maybe people can say like, well, y'all are the minority, and that's true. But the thing is that we still don't get those privileges. We don't get the cool points for following the rules. We don't get the cool points for being different or whatever. And so I don't want black women, because I know a lot of black women on my page lately because of the K-pop thing. But I'm not saying anything wrong, and I'm not implying that black women are bad or they're evil or whatever. I'm just saying that there's a voice out there of black men and boys that haven't been heard yet, because when we air it out in media or in public places, nobody takes it seriously. If I went on Yon Van Zant and told her my issues, she would just be like, well, you're not giving black women enough chances. You need to love black women. Black women have been there for you and dying for you. And it's like, okay, I can understand the metaphoric sense of that. And it's not like I'm ungrateful of that, but I'm not talking about unconditional love or this type of platonic love. I'm talking relationship wise or sexually. And black nerds have a hard time, getting women to, believe that, that they're sexual too, that they get aroused too, they have dreams and fantasies too, and you know, black women or women in general, they don't include nerds into that to that. If I went on freaking, you know, Essence, did an interview on their YouTube, they wouldn't understand. You know, black women are dating thugs. What are you talking about? We're educated. Like we don't date thugs. They'll get into that. Like they'll do the same shit that they did with when Crazy Bruh went on freaking Dr. Oz show, and he was talking about women dating thugs or whatever, and all the women are looking crazy and shit, like they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're like, I'm too educated to do that, you know. But I'm just closing this video. I just want to set the record straight, because I'm not like the MGTOWs. I'm not like Obsidian or Tommy. I'm level-headed thinking into this, and I do play, um, I do side with black women, and you know, in issues of abuse, colorism, and granted, I don't make as much as I should, but I have made videos in my support of black women from and these were like ideas and thoughts that black men were not agreeing on, or you know had a difference in opinion. Like for instance, when Lifetime did the Miss Chalet um biop, despite the awkwardness and the cheesy script, I sided with Miss Chalet on some shit that well, with the I disagree with Tariq. Like I didn't appreciate him, doing his Ustream and debunking like little shit like, oh, we didn't use the word sucker, in the 80s or 90s or whatever. And it's like if that's the only like argument you have in discrediting the film just based off lingo, it's a dumb argument. I also, got on Tariq with colorism and shit like that. And, I've already made videos talking about, how Tommy messed up my life. And, so, I'm level-headed. But, y'all just have to work with me and not troll my channel. And this is really to the K-poppers. Don't troll my channel, bitching and moaning about why I'm not in support of Asian and black relationships or whatever. You take that with somebody else. You're not gonna win my favor, so don't even waste your Twitter hands on me.